Genesis has already received a point list update. Hey guys, Otaker back with another Yu-Gi-Oh! Genesis video, and today we're going to be discussing the already released update to the point list. I don't really know what we're calling it right now, so I'm just going to call it the point list, but yeah, Konami's already dropped an update for this, and the format hasn't really had an official event or like a tournament. I'm sure some locals have already started running this, but yeah, let's just go ahead and take a look, and they did drop a explanation for why these cards were not on the initial like release of the list when they announced the event. But yeah, let's just jump on into it. Before we do, though, I want to remind everyone that I'm currently doing a Yummy Core giveaway that does not include Marshmallow Yummy. So if you'd like to have an opportunity to win that Yummy Core, then make sure you leave a like on this video, subscribe to the channel, and answer the 3 questions at the end of the video. Also, it's not required, but if you would like to further support the channel, then consider joining my community Discord, following me over on Twitch, and using my TCG affiliate link. And if you would like to save 15% off while also upgrading your deck box, your playmat, or your card sleeves, then consider using my Dueling Guard affiliate link. All links will be in the description down below. All right, so let's go ahead and just take a look at what their explanation was for originally not having these cards that got added to the list on the initial list. But the initial point list was frozen at the end of August, so we could focus on the Genesis launch without constant additional changes. That's fair. So we built up a bit of a backlog from further internal testing, and now your results will affect the points moving forward. Cards that universally see a ton of play will see their points cost go up. Cards that don't see any play will often see their point cost go down. And of course, we'll always keep both hands on the steering wheel to make sure that no FTK combos creep in. Even if nobody's playing them, point decay is not automatic. First off, before we even finish this blog post, this is more communication than the TCG has received literally fucking ever. I want to point that out. Yu-Gi-Oh! Genesis is completely brand new out of this weekend, and it's already gotten more communication than the TCG's got in 25 fucking years. Love that. We're thinking the ideal update timing is somewhere in the 4 to 6 week range, so we're looking at like the Master Duel average amount of time between ban lists, but that will depend on data availability. In order to see which cards are getting used and not used, we need deck lists. We'll have the deck lists from the big events that we're running, like the Genesis Invitationals we're running at upcoming YCS events, but we're really hoping to see deck lists from in-store Genesis tournaments, Genesis public events run at regionals, etc. I really like that they are really running with this. They're like, look, we want deck lists from locals. We want deck lists from regionals. We want to see what the community cooks up so we can really hit things and really balance out the format. Tournament organizers have never been required to send those to us, but you can help out too by talking about what cards you're seeing and are winning at your local events. Just talk about it in the usual places. We'll see it. If you can add hashtag Yu-Gi-Oh! Genesis to your posts, even better. So what I'm hearing is just add hashtag Yu-Gi-Oh! Genesis at the end of all of my videos. No, I'm kidding. We're also flexible on the update schedule. If you'd prefer a longer gap between changes or updates only when new sets come out, we could do that too if enough people want it. Speaking of new sets, you'll notice that Dominus Spiral and K9 Noroi from Duel of Dimensions have immediately point costs. Existing Dominus cards already have point costs. Existing K9 cards already have point costs. So we think duelists would expect strong new cards from these lines to come with at least some nominal point cost upon release, and that is fair. This was also common feedback from folks who had an early look at Genesis before it was announced, but at the same time, we're thinking it would be a little weird to pre-assign point costs to brand new themes like Doom Z or Radiant Typhoon, both from Duel of Dimensions right away. Let's see where they end up first. Do you agree? Let us know. So I'm iffy on this because a common complaint that people have had in the past with Master Duel is that they were preemptively hitting cards, and I think they still do this, where they preemptively hit cards before the card is even released, so that way the deck comes out semi-balanced. It's never really balanced, the deck, before it came out, but that was always the goal. And I'm iffy on this, right? Because if you release new product and the cards released are essentially untouched, that opens the door for the deck to just be cataclysmically insane in a format like this where every other deck has points behind it. And also that just makes it so they don't have to worry about having points in their main engine, and they just have to worry about having points in whatever random cards they want to add. So I personally feel like, and I doubt Konami's watching this, but I personally feel like having some sort of point value like they're doing with Noroi and Dominus Spiral, already like pre-assigned, is the right call. Obviously, don't make it like too insane or too unreasonable. And I mean, and also it's a double-edged sword, because at the same time, the archetype might not do anything at all in the format in general. Like, you know, Doomsday and Radiant Typhoon might not do anything at all in the format at all. So putting points on these decks that don't end up doing anything could also just kind of clutter the list as well. Like, it's a double-edged sword, but I'm curious to see where Konami goes with it and where like the community really pushes them in which direction. First chance to talk to us directly about any of this will be at YCS Anaheim, where the first Genesis Invitational and its qualifiers will be going. We hope to see you there. P.S. Whenever we update points, the Deck Builder website will always have them first, and we'll post an article here right away. The point list at the main Genesis page will probably lag behind a little bit. Don't panic, and keep in mind, we're still in early access and are hoping to revamp this in the near future. All right. Again, more communication from Konami on their brand new format than the TCG has ever gotten. Love to see it. I mean, it's still nice that Konami is providing communication, and they've even said, like, hey, expect like a new adjustment, a new update about every 4 to 6 weeks, and they even said, like, this can change, give or take, on context. I like it. I really like that they are very much vocal about how this is going to work and how the like point system is going to constantly be changing given on cards that are seeing play, not seeing play, etc. And just because it's not seeing play, it's not automatically going to come down in points. But let's take a look at what they did change. All right, so the cards that are going up in cost: Chicken Game going from 0 to 7, Dark World Dealings going from 0 to 5, Demise of the Land 0 to 1, Shifter 5 to 10. Good. I felt like 5 was too cheap. 10 is also, in my opinion, too cheap. 30 points for playset of Shifter. Fuck off. Dominus Spiral 0 to 10. Dracotil Arthalion 10 to 20. Evil Swarm Ouroboros 0 to 67. Foolish Barrel Goods 0 to 3. Into the Void 1 to 3. Canine Noroi 0 to 10. Joe Cool 0 to 13. P2 to 0 to 20, Left Arm Offering 0 to 7, Lightswarm Dragonling 0 to 10, Lyrilusk Barrel Canary 0 to 5, and Bird Call 0 to 20, Sigma 0 to 7, Multi-Universe 0 to 3, Metaverse 0 to 3, Hope Harbinger 10 to 20, Dugara 0 to 10, Paradise Smasher 0 to 67, Utopic Draco Future 0 to 20, Numbers Evail 0 to 70, Ohime, the Manifested Makanko 0 to 33, Ojama Duo and Trio are going from 0 to 2 and 3. That's funny, I'm not gonna lie. Duo's going to 2 and Trio's going to 3. I'm sure that was incredibly intentional. Planet Pathfinder 0 to 3, Prohibition 0 to 100, so you're only allowed to have that one if you want to run Prohibition. Pseudospace 0 to 3, Psyblocker 0 to 61, Salesman 0 to 100, fair. Star Seraph Scepter 0 to 5, Star Seraph Sovereignty 0 to 5, the Transaction Rollback 0 to 7, Trapaholic 0 to 7, and Holy Sue 0 to 10. So before we go to the cost down, these are all really good changes immediately for the cost up. A lot of these cards were just cards that were straight missing. Like, one of the biggest complaints upon the initial release of the format was that Canine Vanquish Soul was by far and none the best deck in the format, because you could get away with running 3 Shifter and then like the rest of the Canine Vanquish Soul cards, because Joe Cool had no cost, Izuna was only 20 apiece, Ripper was 20, and again, none of the Vanquish Soul cards had any points. Even Paradise Smasher had 0 points, so immediately Paradise is 67 points. Which, again, funny enough, because it's number 67 and it's 67 points. Again, super intentional that they're doing shit like that. But then furthermore, Joe Cool, 13 points, and Noroi is 10 points. Just, again, really good. Holy Sue, 10 points. So immediately, Vanquish Soul Canine is not the best deck in this format now. Like, I mean, it's probably still playable, but I think pure Vanquish Soul would probably just be better than, like, Canine, which is fine. Another big complaint, though, that people had was Dracotail was insane in this format as well, because Phimina and Malulu and Arthalion were like the only cards that really costed anything, and you still had some points to spare. Well, no longer is that really like a thing. Arthalion got doubled in points, and Kitu also got put to 20 points. So you have to be more frugal with your points. You can't just run 3 Kitu and get away with it, because if you do, that's 60 points. So yeah, I really like the fact that they already are like, hey, these are the cards that we kind of like backlogged, and I don't understand maybe some of them, but I also, this is a very new format, so I don't completely get it. However, right out the gate, Exodia FTK is something they definitely were paying attention to. People were going off, and they're like, oh, Exodia FTK is free. The only card that you have to run that's a power play card is Pot of Greed or Graceful Charity. Like, and sure enough, they were like, yo, Chicken Game 7, Pseudo World costs points now. Dark World Dealings cost points. Into the Void costs points. Like, they went hard on all the draw spells because they're like, yeah, fuck your Exodia FTK. Let's look at the cards going down in cost, though. So Arahime, the Manifested Makonko, 33-0. Blackwing Chinook, the Snowblast, 5-0. Zephyros, the Elite, 15-13. Block Dragon, 40-33. Droll Lockbird, 7-5. Gladiator Rejection, 20-15. Harpy Feather Duster, 33-30. Heavy Storm, 25-20. Imperm, 15-13. Monster Reborn, 20-15. Meowls, 5-3. Premature Burial, 27-25. And Return of the Dragon Lords, 10-7. This is like all right. They just kind of like managed some of the hand traps a little bit better, and even some of like the board breakers, like Heavy Storm, like 20 is a little more rounded out. Feather Dusters, a little more rounded out. If you wanted to like run both, that's 50 points total. Imperm, I'm not a big fan of non-5 or 0 numbers in a system like this, but it makes sense because then you can like squeeze in like a random card here or there. So like Imperm, instead of being a 45-point card, is now a 39-point card. So you can like jam it in like a random little power card. Meowls being a rather than 15 playset and now a 9 playset is interesting, but in a format like this, I imagine Meowls will be a very niche card that will probably not see play, and if it does see play, it's because they were just looking to cram something in. But it also will depend on the good decks, because if nothing's being summoned from the graveyard or banished, then Meowls sees incredibly less play. Overall, like, this is a pretty solid start, like a good solid first update in my personal opinion. Like, the big cards that they were really paying attention to was like Vanquish Soul Canine, Dracotail, and Exodia FTK. The 3 decks that were probably like the trio of just cancer and like toxic gameplay. So I'm glad that they focused on that heavily. But I'm curious to hear what you all think. So again, just a reminder that if you would like to have an opportunity to win the Yummy Core giveaway that does not include Marshmallow Yummy, then make sure you leave a like on this video, subscribe to the channel, and answer the following 3 questions. Question number 1, do you think that the 4 to 6 week time gap between updates is enough, or do you think it's like too soon or too late? Definitely let me know in the comments below. Question number 2, do you think this is a good first update? Do you feel like they missed something, or if maybe they didn't go harsh enough on something that's on the list? And question number 3, what are you playing for Yu-Gi-Oh! Genesis now that a first list has been dumped out? And with that, I'll see you all in the next video. See ya.